Hi. Hi. I'm going to do a Mercury retrograde reading for air signs. Mercury enters retrograde on October 13th and stations direct on November 3rd, with a post-shadow period lasting until November 19th. Mercury retrograde will be retrograding in Scorpio, and that is nearly within a Mars retrograde that's retrograding in its home sign of Aries. Both Aries and Scorpio are Mars ruled. Well, Scorpio was initially paired with Aries to be ruler of Mars until the discovery of Pluto. I believe that was in the 70s. However, this is a time in which we're taking a pause to examine our impulses, our aggressions, our passions, sexuality, inner courage. So I'm going to be doing the elemental sign. Did I say air signs? We're going to go with air signs. I'm going to start with the Tattoo Tarot for air signs. What messages do we have coming out this Mercury retrograde in Scorpio for air signs? Messages, concerns, guidance. Nope. Nothing. We're fine. All right, Six of Wands, Knight of Swords, and the Magician. Those are the three that you have flying out there. Six of Wands is about being celebrated or having a victory. The Knight of Swords is Gemini energy. That's your air energy right there. It's flexible air energy, mutable air energy. It's about the use of our communication, how we put our communication to our utility. This could be delivering a message or say how we use our communication. And that can be the skill that is being enacted by a magician energy. Magician can manifest anything that he desires because he knows all the tools in his toolbox, and he has the X factor of his faith and connection with God and Spirit. There's something that's being utilized with how you communicate, or you are examining patterns in which how you communicate to be able to elicit the best response and the victory, like coming out on top. How do I manage a situation? By understanding my patterns in communication, my thought patterns. How do I have my thoughts? That can be based on like impulse or reactivity. How do I clearly communicate them assertively but also to elicit like the best result, which would be a victory of some sort. Air signs, you may be considering how to use your tool of communication to best create a position of victory for yourself. A couple more. Couple more for air signs. Two of Wands, and that is by taking a pause. It's tampering, this is Two of Wands, tampering the knee-jerk reaction with your communication. You may find that you can be a bit impulsive with your responses, with your verbal responses, and sometimes they can be less than savory. Not just for the people receiving them, but for you when you reflect on it. So now, under this retrograde period, it's a time to look back and look at the bigger picture. Why are my responses like that? What part of me is speaking What part of me is acting, say, out of fear or defensiveness? Does it really apply to the situation that I feel triggered by? You are in beautiful energy to examine this and to, yes, create victory for yourself. The Two of Wands is the encouragement to take the step back to see the broader picture and then decide the action moving forward. Which pathway? This could also signify a crossroads. So this is like a crossroads moment, I believe, with making a decision to refine a certain way that you communicate. It can be active right now, like something that is happening right now, or just something that you've noticed as a pattern that you want to adjust because you are evolving out of that old pattern. And you recognize that you're just then using, pulling in what your resources are to be able to refine that skill and have control over it. All right. Air signs. That Knight of Swords looks defensive, so I do believe that, because in that deck it looks like he's holding that sword, but it doesn't quite look like he doesn't look aggressive. He looks like he uses his words, his impulsive communication, his brash communication is out of defense, is out of defending himself more than it is about outwardly hurting another person. Not to say that sometimes it doesn't, I'm just saying that the source of it seems to be that way, and there's an acknowledgement to that you are in a position to really take the reins on it, refining that skill in communication, because as an air sign, you are highly skilled in communicating. Taking a bigger perspective of it for then how to manage yourself and then ultimately create a place. It's like you then show to be exemplary and celebrated. Six of Wands comes after a Five of Wands, and a Five of Wands is a battle. It's a fight. It's a competition. Okay? It's a conflict. This is after the conflict and being victorious. You can be victorious post-conflict because of your refined attention to how you use your skill and tool of communication. Great. Air signs. And another for the Knight of Swords. Thank you. Ace of Pentacles with the Knight of Pentacles. This is the turning of the new leaf, and it's slow and diligent work, attentive, intentional, resisting the urge. It's like, and I love this Knight of Pentacles because he's armored, because he's so focused. Yes, slow. Okay, slow. But he's not going to get hurt. And this pentacle is being very carefully taken care of. It's that new opportunity, that new cycle of something that leads, look at this archway. You are slowly moving towards that new path. It's a threshold that you are working towards going through, but it's almost like you are preparing for battle or preparing for the worst, not out of a pessimism, but out of knowing that you participate in the worst sometimes, maybe argumentative or harsh communication. But I see this as really equipping yourself, being well equipped, protecting this seed, this new thing, opportunity, offer, message. But I see this Knight of Pentacles moving steadily towards what that gateway, archway is. And it looks like behind it is just this vast, landscape, mountains. And it's as though if that trigger, obstacle, challenge should come your way, you are in a space where you know better. You know better than to lash back out. You need to rest with it. Okay, great. We have another card for Six of Wands. The Death card. I love it when the Death card comes out with the Knight of Pentacles in this deck, because they look the same to me. They look the same. This Death card, it's like the old, because you've transformed, the old way is dead. And I love also in this, these things are being put to rest. There's these individuals that, yes, this Death card is taking away these, lives. But what I can see it as is this man, so a death to an old masculinity and a submission of the old femininity. And this child is not wounded, and neither is this Hierophant. This Hierophant is praying to this Reaper, this armored Reaper coming in, as if to say, thank you. Thank you for removing what does not belong in my life. Thank you for transforming the energies. There's so much going on. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck. There's so much going on in this. Behind there, you see a setting sun, because it's like honoring it as the natural way. You're honoring this as like, I am transforming and I'm going to esteem this new way that I am. And it can be about patience. It can be about, taking your time and having more intention than being reactive or, say a slave to your impulses. Your impulses that are ruled by defensiveness, perhaps. But there's victory in it. I see victory in the work that you're doing. The Death card with the Six of Wands. And it's funny because to me, in the traditional tarot, the Death card also looks like the Six of Wands. They're all horses that are just in this path moving forward. And these horses to me talk about the nobility of that. Holding yourself in a higher esteem to be able to change and decide, I'm not who I was before. I'm not how I was before. And that's part of that magician energy, saying, I have a great skill in communication and I've been misusing it. And there's a better way for me to misuse it. I'm not how I was before. Leave the past behind. I'm not. It's a new opportunity, a chance to go and move forward. And look at this. Oh, there's the woman and child saved by the new reborn masculine. Okay, I want you to look at that. There's the woman and the child, but the old masculine is dead. Okay, the old masculine is dead. And the new masculine, set to protect the feminine and the inner child. The action to save them is to move them to a new place, a new pasture. Okay? This new place is signified by the distant setting sun. It's also signified, as I mentioned, in this ace of coins with this pathway leading through the archway. Okay? Magician. You know more about that Magician card. Interesting. The 4, rest with your thoughts. Let your mental energy be repaired, rejuvenated by taking those moments onto the self in meditation. This is a card of healing, but I feel like it's the healing after a time of a tumultuous time, or heartbreak, a disappointment, which was the 3 of Swords. But the 4 of Swords, there's also a signifier of using that meditation and connecting to your faith, which ultimately is the power of the Magician. Because the way that he uses his tools is in alignment with the power from the heavens. Okay? So far, big picture for the air signs in this Mercury retrograde is looking at your own energy of air, and how to, of air, communication and perception, and how to put it into a more, I don't want to say lucrative, what is that word that I want to use? I'm not an air sign. I have air in my chart. Using it for the best quality that it is. And so it takes connection with God and understanding and separating from ego. It's a reborn masculine energy. No. There you go. Strength in the Chariot just flipped right out. Strength in the Chariot. To be able to move forward and tame your beast. This is huge energy for that. This is Leo, and I believe the Chariot is Cancer. Being able to move through a polarity. Seeing between black and white matters. You know, I'd say also this is having a strength and using the strength that you have to tame your own beast also helps you in moving forward and understanding that things are not black and white and we are not separate. There's not, like, you understanding yourself and understanding your impulses and the roots of, say, what your struggles, difficulties, challenges are, help you have empathy moving forward for other people, that then creates a shield to you to not let their crap trigger your crap. I just see this as like a shift for you of trigger protection. Beautiful. Air signs. Another one with the, okay, that's a lot. The Tower, the Knight of Wands, and the High Priestess. It's that abrupt. There's an abrupt shift, a surprise, a change, a departure, and a deep inner knowing. You're not going to lash out. You don't, and there's like almost this freedom, this freeing energy that I feel about a new awareness of your trigger, and suddenly you get that beautiful freeing feeling of it just breezing right over you. It's like you don't swat the fly anymore. Like the fly used to like buzz. Okay, think about a fly coming at you and buzzing. You'd be like, you're bothering me. Stop. You're bothering me. You're bothering me. And now it's like the fly buzzes around you and you're just like, that fly is buzzing. Period. It's like things don't become triggers anymore. They become clear and plain observations that you can clearly see are not you. But there's an empathy for it because you can acknowledge what that experience is like. But you've already made this decision to not embody what that is anymore. Like, not embody that reactivity to things that used to really affect you. They just don't affect you that way anymore. You have other concerns. The new you is your concern. Your new narrative is your concern. Too many. Thank you. Your new narrative is your concern. 10 of Pentacles. The life that you are building, the spiritual abundance that you already know exists within you. This is a completion of a cycle. Health, wealth, spiritual abundance, and legacy. Identity. Shining. There's another archway. This diligent work forward, well armed, getting through, try and fuck with the kid, right? You're gonna go through, you have that one seed ready to plant your fucking garden, moving towards that archway. What's there when you walk through that archway? A whole pile of what you manifested for yourself. Leaving the past behind and not feeling like you are enough. Because looking at this with this light shining down on it, it's going into a place and stepping into a new identity where there is not a need for you to be defensive, because you see now as you are enough and you are abundant and you have it already. Like, you have it already. It's hard for me to put that into words. And I'm sorry. We're going to talk about this magician with the 4 of Swords, with the 3 of Coins and the Knight of Swords. And they flipped in the reverse. This could be a conflict at work. This could be a conflict within the family, being Pentacles again. Disharmony. But how are you dealing with disharmony? You're pausing to reflect, creating new boundaries for yourself, and just really holding back impulses because you're aware of those impulses. So under this Mercury retrograde energy, you're examining your triggers, you're examining your thought patterns, and you're examining your patterns with communication that reflect lesser things. And then 4 of Coins, hanging on, holding out. Okay? Blocking. I see that as with another 4 And I'm going to put that with the Magician and the Swords. Boundaries. Boundaries about what you give. Boundaries about what else you take on. It's a, it is a protective layer of the self between the Four of Swords and the Four of Pentacles, but that's part of the armor that I see you wearing as you steadily move forward and toward who you know you're destined to be. The new you that you are aware of and ready to fully step into. You're ready to step through that archway and embody the abundant, protected, calm, peaceful, and happy you that you are. Six of Wands to reiterate. Six of Wands to reiterate. Victory, victorious return after a battle. You win. You win, and it's not you win and another person loses. You win, and that's it. Like another person losing, it's like this is not a competition with other people. It's a competition with the old you versus the new you. And the new you wins. And the old you dies. Death card. Can I know more about this? Thank you. With the there's your Ace of Cups. Tall, cold glass of water. All right. Just refreshing, feeling like your love is overflowing. You're acting out. It's like deciding to act out of a space of love with that compassion that I was talking about, with that empathy I was talking out of, instead of that and that's how you're using your communication. Your reactivity is going to then slowly alter away as you practice more and more, of the awareness of what the old you is and how that gets triggered outward. The more practice you have in actively choosing love, the easier it becomes to be. And every day you wake up with that full cup and a stack of pentacles shining in the damn light. Really. Really. Get one more for up top for my air signs. Shining. Air signs shining. Love that. Thank you. Another 4, and it's a 4 of Swords again. So be on the lookout for 4s. I want to say that. You have 444 in your reading. But this is then a reiteration of pausing to reflect, meditating, connecting with presence, to tend to intention of how you need to use and how you would like to use your communication skills moving forward, to be able to build your life of health, wealth, and spiritual abundance, because really that's what it is. It's about identity, it's about legacy, it's about your business, your family, and who you are as a spiritual being in a mortal experience. Okay? You're awesome. Love y'all. Air signs. Pumping it up here. Hope you enjoyed that reading.